Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Nick and Lex here. Thank you so much for being here, and thank you so much for checking out another reaction with music with Nick. Today is a very it's a special one because I'm kind of terrified because I'm gonna react to this by myself, and I just don't know if I'm gonna like it, but I'm gonna be 100% honest. I'm pretty sure, I mean, just knowing myself, you know, I think I will like it, but who knows? I'm just going to be brutally honest. And we've done some Emerson, Lake and Palmer, and I've loved everything we have done so far. But I'm not like I'm not like the fan I think I wanted to be of Emerson, Lake and Palmer. I mean, Lucky Man is a masterpiece in the beginning. Like everything we have heard is super. Take a Pebble, but I don't know. I'm just like a little bit intimidated about this one. First of all, I do want to thank you know, the person that sponsored the video, Great Scott, longtime supporter of the channel. He knows me very well. I guess I know him quite well, you know, from the comment section and just from our lives. But I don't know, you know, I don't really know if this is gonna be, you know, a complete mishap or like a success story. So let's see, you know. I just wanted to say that, but thank you, Great Scott, for this request, and let's just dive into it, you know. Just as a background real quick before we start, so we've done from the beginning, like I said, Lucky Man. Let's see. I did Fanfare for the Common Man. I love that one. I think we did Tarkus. I mean, I don't even know anymore what we did, but we've done quite a lot. So, I mean, I'm not as terrified as I thought I was. I think I would be more terrified with Van der Graaf Generator, something more like, you know, even more, you know, on the progressive side. But yeah, I think I'm gonna be fine. It's just, it's a little bit intimidating when it comes to ELP, and then such a, you know, I mean, it's from Brain Salad Surgery. I think that used to be in the background. And I'm gonna do Karn Evil 9 First Impression Part 1, Karn Evil 9 First Impression Part 2, Karn Evil 9 Second Impression, and Karn Evil 9 Third Impression. I'm gonna do all that back to back. So let's see what happens. I'm very excited about this. I am very excited, I have to be honest. So without further ado, I mean, let the masters do the talking, you know, let them take over. I'm gonna be, you know, I'm just gonna sit here and, you know, see what they have to say, you know, what they have to play and what they have to. I'm sure it's gonna be an awesome one, but I'm gonna be brutally honest, like I always am. You know, so that's like the only thing that I'm afraid of, my honesty. All right. Okay, so here it goes. Karn Evil 9 First Impression Part 1. Wow, man. This is gonna be a trip because, I mean, all of the songs are almost like 8 minutes. From exception of Part 2 is a 4-minute one. So it's gonna be quite an experience. Here we go. I'm ready. Let's go. Okay, very Baroque. I love it.
Now the faces captured in the lenses of the
Okay. Wow. So, I I'm loving it. Okay, so yeah, so I'm past the when you know when you're gonna jump and you're like and then you jump and then you jump then you land. That's how I feel right now. So I'm loving it. I'm really loving it. I love it's very neoclassical. It's very baroque infused with some very odd like scales, and I'm loving it. I'm love that. I love that. It's a theme that bum bum bum, and then just like right now, just like switch completely. Time signatures and the cool scales are coming in. So it's very interesting. I'm gonna have to re-listen to this with Alexia. I wanna see how she feels about this because she just got heavily into prog, and I just want to see what she thinks of this. But let's keep going. Oh, okay. Okay, I hope that wasn't doing... No, I just started. This is insane. I'm loving it. The drumming here, man, I think it's called Palmer. What a beast. I mean, it sounds literally like... It reminds me a lot of Yes, of course, because it's just very progressive, but also like other bands like Rush, you know. I mean, it's more, I think, a little bit more chaotic, but in a good way, you know. I think Rush doesn't go out so much, you know, because this is a lot of information, just the scales that are being used here, like all the different modes, and man, like, you know, I don't want to get into like too technical terms because a lot of people get bored by that, but you know, I might. But this is amazing. It's really good, man. Yeah. I mean, just to stick with the drumming right now, like the time signatures are just insane. You know, all the different changes, and what great. I mean, I love the Moog. You know, the sound of the keyboards. It's just amazing, and the singing is great as well. I can't really make out the bass. Is beautiful, is there, but I can't really hear the guitar. But I don't know if they even have a guitar player. Like, I'm sure they do, because of in the beginning I even learned that intro. But let's keep going. Let's just keep moving forward. I'll give my reaction after.
Heads in jars, and a bomb inside a car. Spectacular, spectacular. If you follow me, there's a speciality. Some tears for you to see. Misery, misery. Roll on, roll on, roll on. See the next up on the bill, in our house up on a bill, we've a stripper in a till. What a thrill, what a thrill. Not content with that, with our hands behind our backs, pull Jesus from the hat, get into that, get into that. Roll on, roll on, roll on, see the show. Welcome back, my friends, to the show that never ends. We're so glad you could attend. Come inside, come inside. There behind the glass stands a real blade of grass. Be careful as you pass. Move along, move along. Come inside, the show's about to start. Guaranteed to blow your head apart. Rest assured, you'll get your money's worth. With this show, it happened, and you gotta see the show. It's a dynamo. You gotta see the show. It's rock and roll. Oh, right before your eyes, people laughter from the skies, and he laughs until he cries, and he dies, and he dies. Come inside, the show's about to start.
love this. I don't know why it kind of like stopped there for a second. That was super odd. But let me check something super quickly here. Okay, just figured something out. Since there's two versions of the CD, there's one remaster and then there's one remaster deluxe, and the timing of the deluxe is like a few seconds, and it kind of like it's gonna mess with the transitions of this piece. So I rearranged the transitions. I mean, I have all the right track. So let's just listen to Karn Evil 9 First Impression Part 1, the last couple of seconds, so it bleeds over correctly, and also that impression Part 2 can bleed over into the second impression correctly, because that would have also kind of messed it up. So I just wanted to do that the way it's supposed to be. I mean, yeah, I know I'm pausing and stuff, but at least I want the transitions to be the ones that we usually would listen to on the, you know, like listening to the record. So here we go.
Welcome back, my friends, to the show that never ends. We're so glad you could attend. Come inside, come inside. There behind the glass stands a real blade of grass. Be careful as you pass. Move along, move along. Come inside, the show's about to start. Guaranteed to blow your head apart. Rest assured, you'll get your money's worth. With this show, it happened all right. You gotta see the show. It's a dynamo. You gotta see the show. It's rock and roll. Oh, right before your eyes, people laugh up from the skies, and he laughs until he cries, and he dies, and he dies. Come inside, the show's about to start. Guaranteed to blow your head apart. You gotta see the show. It's a dynamo. You gotta see the show. It's rock and roll.
Solo. Wow.
Soon the gypsy queen in a glaze of Vaseline will perform on guillotine. What a scene, what a scene. Next up on the stand, will you please extend a hand to Alexander's ragtime band, Dixieland, Dixieland.
Wow, I just love how it goes back to the main, like to the first part, and it's there's a repetition there, so it becomes kind of like familiar, you know. I'm like da dun 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 bum 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 ba dum bum dun 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 dun. I don't know. It's just really, I really like it, and this whole like to the show, it's rock and roll. Dun, dun, dun. I feel like I don't know, like I'm walking into some kind of like literally like I'm walking into like a theme park, like you know, and like all kinds of shit is receiving me, you know, like it's really trippy. Like I don't know, I feel very welcome here, you know. I like this, and I just like the scales that he's using. I mean, he's doing a lot of melodic minor because it's very classical, the harmonic minor scale, but there's also a lot of whole tone, you know, where you basically, I don't know how to explain it, but yeah, you know, there's a lot of like stuff that's really out there, you know, half note, whole note scales, and I just hear it because I practiced them myself, you know. And there's just a lot of music that's very a lot of theory in here, you know, that maybe you, because it's also happening so fast, but I do hear them, you know, because I listen to all this weird music. So, you know, this music, you know, takes a lot from jazz as well. There's a lot of jazz in here, a lot of classical music, but a lot of rock, you know. It's just, this is why it's progressive. It's like a rock fusion, prog progressive rock, you know. But I'm really enjoying this. It's really cool. And I'm happy that we have the right tracks. The transitions are going to be smooth and correct. But let's keep going, man. I'm loving the drumming. I'm loving this voice, the energy. It's very positive. And it sounds also very, until now, it's very inviting. Maybe it's going to get super dark, you know, like the cover, you know, by Geiger, by the guy who did the Xenomorph in Alien. But let's continue. I'm really liking this. Wow, man. Like I said, this is jazz. Like he was playing it earlier. He just didn't play it in the context of now it sounds more jazz because he's more free. But he's playing a lot of chromaticism here. A lot of yeah, like I said, a lot of you know scales that are very common in jazz, like in jazz fusion and but also like just in normal jazz. It's really really amazing how cool and for especially for rockers, people that listen to rock, this is like their gateway into jazz right there, because if you like this, then yeah, I mean, why wouldn't you like jazz? It's all about improvisation. This is all being improvised. I don't know if he writes it down and just plays it, but I'm sure it is improvised because I mean, it is jazz. It's really good. I've never heard Emerson, Lake and Palmer play like this. It's really good. But I never doubted the talent or the capacity of to do that. I mean, they're pros, like uber pros, right? I'm sorry, but he's playing Latin jazz. That's it. The tack 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 tack. The time signature is right there. If you listen to any Latin jazz, it's right there. They even have a they even do this and they improvise and they have their and I'm not a drummer, but I know what I hear. Jesus. Listen to my Chucho Valdez marathon. If you like this, if you like Emerson, Lake and Palmer, if you like this piece, listen to my Chucho Valdez marathon. It's gonna blow your mind. It's literally the same style. Wow. And then it sounds literally like Tom and Jerry. They're just messing with us, That's the beauty of these musicians. They're so good at their craft that they can just that's why they say play, they're playing. It's a game, the music is so familiar that you can just bend the rules. There are no rules in music. I mean, yes, there are in classical, very strict ones too, but I mean, it depends on the time when it was played. Oh, certain things were like, oh, you can't do that, you can't play those scales, but then it just opens up and then you can just be free, and this is what freedom sounds like. Jesus, I'm drinking water because I'm drinking so much coffee. A little bit of Hindemith right here. Oof, beautiful chords. Some Bernhard Herrmann. Sounds very Hitchcock. Jesus. The soundtrack. Jesus Christ. I was like, oh God, because it did sound a little bit like when it changed to the last song here. We're now on Karn Evil 9, third impression. It is the right one, and you guys know, of course, but I was worried. I don't want to mess it up, you know. Man, the musicianship on this album is ridiculous. Like I love it. Just like the, I guess of course it is um Lake, Mr. Lake, like Emerson Lake. No, Emerson, what's his name? Because it's Emerson, Mr. Lake, Mr. Emerson, Mr. Lake, and Mr. Palmer, but Mr. Emerson, who's the keyboard? Oh my god. Let's see. Jesus. It's just insane what these guys do on their instruments. Keith Emerson, Greg Lake, and Carl. So Carl I had correct, and then Keith Emerson is just, yeah, he's out of his mind. I love him. Just the balls, you know, to play that like that, you know, in rock. So the bass player is not on here, but it's basically just, you know, Carl on the drums, and then Greg Lake on the guitar. And I did listen to the solos, of course, and Keith Emerson. I think Keith does the bass as well, you know, with the like and the Doors. They didn't have a bass player. Man, it's just yeah. Here it says Greg Lake. Oh, Greg Lake plays the bass. Okay, but yeah, it's just like, man, these guys are just on a different level. But so are all the other bands that we listen to, and it's just beautiful, you know. But I would have not been ready for this music. Let's say 10 years ago. No way. It's too much. It's too wild. It's almost like music for musicians, but I know that a lot of non-musicians get it, but I think it takes a while, you know, to get to this level of understanding the music. You have to kind of like know, or you just, you know, you just enjoy great music and you just get it. You just accept it for what it is, and you don't overanalyze. That is also very possible, you know. I know a lot of people that have never played an instrument in their life, and they love, you know, just the sound of weird chords or you know, not as common scales. So yeah, I mean, but I just, like, me as a musician and the music I used to play, I would have loved all the classical stuff, but then the jazz stuff would have thrown me off. And here I'm drawn to, because of both the elements, you know, of jazz and classical music, and just the rock, because classical music fits so well into rock music, like the way Ritchie Blackmore incorporated all the, you know, Baroque like melodic minor scales into his solos, and, you know, and then other people started doing it as well, instead of just using, you know, the blues scale or chromaticism. Right here, there's a lot of chromatic scales that are basically, you can use them in jazz very well, but in rock it just sounds kind of off, you know, if you don't play the right chords, because then it clashes together. But there's a lot of tension here. There was a lot of intentional tension that you just feel like, oh, you know, it's like, if this keeps going, it doesn't fit, but then the resolution happens, you know. He knows how to open up again, you know. It kind of like there's this musical tension, and then it's resolution, and that's when you feel like, oh, you know. So I hope that's the way I feel, you know. So, but yeah, this is great. This is a lot of fun, and I'm gonna persuade Alexia to do it if she can. You know, it's a long marathon, and she can't do like you know, 25 minutes. It's just too much, and then I'm speaking a lot and stuff. So, but I'll see if I can do it. I would do it again just to sit with her and see her face, you know. So let's see how that goes. Okay, let's continue.
man of steel, pray and kneel with Peeper's blazing torch, thrust into the face of the night. Draws a blade of compassion, kissed by countless kings, whose jeweled trumpet words blind his sight. Walls that no man thought would fall, the altars of the just, crushed, dust in the wind. No man yields who flies in my ship. Let the bridge computer speak. No computer stands in my way. Only blood can cancel my pain. Guardians of a nuclear zone. Let the maps of war be drawn.
My God, those arpeggios. You know, the way he opens up those arpeggios. This piece sounds very epic and like almost for kings and queens. The music of, you know, I don't really know if music sounded like that in medieval times, but that's how they basically, you know, when you hear a trumpet like that, it's very it's almost like it's sort of a fanfare, you know, and it sounds just very of that time, of reminiscent of like people on horses with swords, and you know, and the kings, and you know, looking down. It's really cool. I mean, the way they did this, really fantasy like, almost like, you know, it transports you into a lot of places. This music, it's very trippy too. Yeah, let's keep going. I hear a lot of John Williams here. I hear a lot of Bernhard Herrmann. I hear a lot of what's his name who composed the planets. An English composer. Man, so good. Give me 1 second because I do hear him. Gustav Holst. Gustav Holst. Gustav Holst. 1874. Like literally 100 years before this. I hear John Williams. I hear that, you know. It's awesome. An arpeggiator. Wow, man. That's literally the ending. Oh my god, I do that too. I use an arpeggiator and I slow it down instead of speed. I don't speed it up because I want to listen to the notes. This was a trip. Thank you so much, Great Scott, for making me sit down for 30 minutes, or I think way more than I thought. I did interrupt a lot, but there's a lot to say. You can't just like sit as a reaction video. If you guys want to listen to the full piece, I invite you to go on YouTube. I'm sure they got the complete thing on there uninterrupted, just for the people that don't get reaction videos. I mean, if you want to listen to the whole piece by yourself, then listen to it. Don't watch a reaction channel, you know. And then there's these people that say, well, you know, people listen to the entire thing and then they react. I'm sorry, but that's BS. You can't react to 25 minutes of music. You forget at least I mean, maybe you remember the first two and then the last two. That's a normal human being. We don't have photographic memory of music. So that's why I think pausing is necessary, especially with something as complex as this. But if we do a second version, you know, maybe with Alexia, we could, you know, maybe pause a little bit less, because just to take in the whole piece, you know. But man, this was a lot of fun. Thank you so much. It's very complex. This is like I'm gonna take a look at the, you know, at the, if I can find it anywhere, I would love to take a look at the chart, the music chart, just to analyze what's going on, you know. Like the scales, very interesting stuff. There's just a lot of stuff here that I like to play on the guitar, you know. And it's so it's just very interesting. It's a very interesting piece, very entertaining and very crazy. Very crazy. Just especially the third one. It felt almost like, you know, like, yeah, like Star Wars before Star Wars, you know, like it's almost like John Williams heard this and said, oh, I'm gonna use this for the, you know, I don't know, for the Imperial March, you know. Yeah, it's just very, very cool. Thank you so much, and I hope you guys did enjoy my dumb faces that I make. And but yeah, it's a reaction video. Thank you guys. Thank you, Great Scott, for requesting this. This was a hell lot of fun, and I hope you enjoyed. See you guys all in the next video.